Good evening and welcome to Bubonicon's 2020 Green Slime Awards. For those of you who've never been to Bubonicon, we have a history of hosting an award show for the worst in genre fiction, television, movies from the previous year. So the way it works is anything is eligible to be nominated that came out between September 2019 and the end of August 2020. So this year we have 5 different categories. I'm going to start with our television award. So we're actually really lucky this year. There's been a lot of great television. We've had just everything from second season of Umbrella Academy to Watchmen to a whole host of great series. The Mandalorian, My Friend, The Child, or Baby Yoda if you don't have a stick up your butt. Anyway. But you know, it was a struggle this year to find something terrible. For all that has been terrible about 2020, and the television this year has been pretty good. So we were really lucky to finally discover a late entry into the year. They came out this summer on Netflix. So we decided to honor with the Green Slime for 2020 in television, Warrior Nun. So for those of you who've not seen it, it's loosely based on the manga Warrior Nun Ariella by Ben Dunn. So this show, I really wanted to love it. What would there not be to love about a show named Warrior Nun? You're thinking, okay, this is great. This is going to be some kick-ass, Buffy fun. You know, it's the idea behind it is essentially a chosen one who's implanted with this relic from an angel that gives her superpowers to fight demons, and she has a whole host of nuns who are warriors who back her up in the quest to protect Earth from these demons. So you're thinking, this is great. Like I said, Buffy-esque, gonna be tons of fun, gonna kick some butt. And to be quite honest, it's a whole bunch of talking. We watched the first 4 episodes of the show, and it really was exposition, exposition, exposition. They seem completely incapable of showing you anything versus telling you about it. I looked up some of the reviews for this one, and as somebody said, season 1's 10 episodes zip around between a huge number of characters who have mysterious, painful backstories, but they're mostly archetypes. And if the show's main issue is that half of its stories are infinitely more engaging than the other. Ava, who's the main character, might be torn between 2 lies, but the audience attention is not. Whenever the warrior nuns are on screen, I was asking, where are the warrior nuns? The other half of the show is surface level, supernatural tinged teen tension that feels tacked on because Stranger Things is Netflix's most popular show. And it was true. Part of the problem with this show is, aside from the exposition, we have no ability to show you anything. We have to tell you. There were so many characters that you just can't keep them straight. If by episode 4, I'm sitting there still going, okay, I know we've seen this character before, but I have no clue who it is. Is this the nun that has the shotgun? I think. Or is it the nun who hates Ava because she believes Ava stole her spot? I don't even know. It's just too many characters, too much exposition, not enough fun. As somebody said, Warrior Nun is sadly not as weird or wild as a show called Warrior Nun should be. And that was definitely my problem with that one. All right, so moving on. Our next award is going to be for the genre toy of the year that shocked us the most. I think most people are going to know what that is. Before we get started, I'm going to have one of my little pandemic snacks. Has anyone noticed the insanity that is coming out in snacks? I was very sad I could not get the Cheez-It Duo with the box of wine in half the box, but said I had to settle for Crunch Berry Smart Food popcorn. I don't know, I'm actually a little scared of that. We might skip it. Anyway, so as I said, next we're going on to toy. So Craig and I early last fall found what we thought was going to be the winning toy, which was literally Death That Farts. It amused me to no end. But then, you know, sometimes life gives you a gift. And even in the midst of 2020, the year from heck, sometimes something comes out that is just like manna from heaven. And I believe if anybody's watched the news in the last month or so, you've probably saw something about the Trolls World Tour Giggle and Sing Poppy, i.e. the troll doll with the button between its crotch that giggles and sighs when you push it. All I have to say is, does Hasbro have no R&D department for their toy section? Did nobody like even look at this thing before they released it? It literally has a button between its legs. That's already not good. But then when you press it and it's giggling and sighing, as the parent who brought this to the attention by doing a online petition that got 150,000 signatures, by the way, they accused the toy maker of promoting child abuse because, you know, it's under the skirt and so on. It's not okay for a child's toy. It's making it seem as if, you know, it's okay to touch privates. It's something enjoyable. And normally when people start getting very prudish with their children, I'm like, okay, come on. But this one was really beyond the pale. It's essentially, you know, it's got a button in its stomach that says things like, how about a hug when you press it? It's very cute. But like I said, the one under the skirt, it was very clear they didn't think that through. My favorite thing was the Hasbro spokeswoman, Julia Duffy, told CNN in a statement that this feature was designed to react when the doll was seated, but we recognize the placement of the center may be perceived as inappropriate. I'm like, really, Julie? Really? You think? All right, so our next award, we're going to move on to the movie category. We were really lucky to have not one, but two movies this year that made the cut. First off, we're going to talk about our children's film. Let me see. I think I need another little green slime snack before we move on. I don't know if anybody heard about this lovely turkey dinner candy corn, because you know you want green bean and roasted turkey and cranberry glazed candy for your dining feasts. I figure in a year that it's a pandemic, this is probably not the worst thing that's come out, but in most years it would be. I'm actually a little too afraid to even open the bag and sniff that. All right, so as I said, we have, starting with our children's film this year, you know, last year we had quite the winner in Show Dogs. We've had some other terrible kids films in the past. This year though, Disney really outdid themselves with this entry. I'm sure you all know, if anybody has Disney Plus, that I'm referencing Artemis Fowl, which got a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 31% on Metacritic. This thing was universally panned. As someone said, if I were Kenneth Branagh, the director, I'd use a pseudonym for the credits of Artemis Fowl. This fantasy flop is sunglasses and fake mustache bad. So the person who nominated this film for us, Hannah Malinsky, sent me a little blurb about it, where she said, this Ocean 11 style caper set in a Harry Potter influenced modern day Ireland. Artemis Fowl is a chaotic mess whose creator not seems to have actually seen either film, and based all decisions off a friend's vague description of them. The movie tried so hard to be dynamic and engaging that it completely forgot to tell a story during its 96-minute runtime, substituting CGI magic weapons for anything resembling a plot. Artemis Fowl was barely in the movie, and every minute of screen time makes you wish they'd cut his role entirely. I will have to say that child, no offense to him, he tried. He has very little screen presence. It was not good. Both Judi Dench and Josh Gad, looking like Hagrid fell on hard times, made the confusing decision to utilize the Christian Bale Batman voice rather than attempting any acting, and few other characters have enough screen time to make you notice or care whether their performance was any better. The only magical element of this movie was that, after seeing what they ended up with, Disney still decided to release it. I have to agree. The one thing I do not understand is the cast and crew involved in this thing, because Kenneth Branagh, award-winning director, Tony-nominated writer Connor McPherson, who somebody said took Ian Colfer's extremely popular young adult books, burned them, swept up the ashes, and dropped them into Final Draft to write his script. The one that completely baffles my mind is why Judi Dench, why? She plays the Fairies Commander Root, a grunting 800-year-old warrior who looks a bit like an angry Angela Merkel. As I said when we were watching the film, I'm like, seriously, she's an 800-year-old fairy with a 5-pack-a-day smoking habit. It just, I do not understand her decision to do this one. She freaking has so many awards, and I would think enough money to last her through her old age. So I'm not quite sure why she chose to do this. So I'm just gonna have to say, as Hannah said at the end of her thing, it was a truly terrible movie, and I need to go reread the books to cleanse my brain. Okay, so as I said, we have 2 films for this year, so we're going to move on to the second one. All right, so next up is our Adult Film Award, which I'm sure many of you have an idea of what this is going to be. Even though it was released in 2019, I feel as if it's a true brainchild of 2020. And that, of course, with 20% on Rotten Tomatoes and 32% on Metacritic, is Tom Hooper's Cats. I have to be upfront. I really hate the musical Cats. I love it. Sondheim, I love other musicals. Andrew Lloyd Webber and Cats has never been my cup of tea. That said, I mean, I probably would not have seen it if I hadn't gotten at least 10 nominations of people telling me, you've seen Cats, right? You're gonna watch Cats, right? Cats is up for Green Slime, right? You're gonna watch Cats, right? And even then, I put it off as long as humanly possible and only watched this movie a couple of weeks ago. And I will have to say it lived up to every expectation that I had, and then some. As somebody said, Cat slips right under the radar and easily scores as the bottom of the 2019 barrel, and arguably of the decade. Even Michael Bay's trash trilogy of soul-destroying transformative movies cannot hold a candle to this mess. I do not understand how they saw the CGI makeup in this and still thought this was a good idea. Although I am quite sad that somehow the butthole edition that apparently existed was never unleashed onto us. I feel like that would be the perfect pandemic viewing thing, but eh. So for those of you who do not know Cats, the basic plot line is that over a single night in London, a tribe of junkyard cats called Jellicles run a talent show to prove their worthiness to the chief judge, Old Deuteronomy. The prize, the chosen feline, will ascend to cat heaven, known as the Heaviside Lair, and be reborn into a better life. As some reviewer said, where presumably no one will ever be forced to sit through this movie. I have to agree with that one. Cats really is a barely there plot strung together so that to see phenomenal dance numbers and the occasional mediocre song. It never had much of a plot, and the way they tried to stretch it in the movie just did not make sense or serve anyone. In terms of the actors in this one, of the name talent, there are singers who can act, like Jason Derulo as Rumtopper Tiger, actors who can sing, like Jennifer Hudson, and the actors who should know better, such as James Corden as Fat Cat Bustopher Jones, who bears a resemblance to Mike Myers' universally reviled Cat in the Hat. They both take hits to the crotch. There's also Rebel Wilson as Jenny Dots, who does her How Gross I Can Be routine, where she scratches her crotch and cracks pathetic cat puns. Idris Elba, who is completely wasted in this movie. I do not understand why he chose to do this. You know, his character keeps appearing and disappearing in nonsensical bursts of pixie dust, shouting things like ineffable every time he goes. The last one, of course, once again, I do not understand what was going through Judi Dench's mind in the last few years that she did both Artemis Fowl and Cats. As one reviewer said, I saw Cats at a preview screening the other night when something happened towards the end I've never actually experienced at a movie before. It came as British actress Judi Dench, digitally pixelated into a giant orange tabby, sung the lyrics of the final number of the film. As Dame Judy carefully enunciated each verse, then paused, then started a new verse, the audience began to titter, then laugh, and then roar, because each pause seemed to signal at long last the film's end. Each new verse became a fresh source of hilarity. It is that rare occurrence, a packed theater going a full springtime for Hitler and giving release to blessed hard-earned mockery. I truly believe our divided nation can be healed and brought together as one by Cats, the musical, the movie, the disaster. And I think that really truly sums it up. I will say I almost wish I had had the opportunity to see Cats in the theater, if only for that experience, which I've only ever had when friends and I may have shown up for the opening night of Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes with a bunch of monkey puppets, and then as the movie proceeded to progressively worse, we proceeded to MST3K the sucker. We were actually, thank God, other people thought it was funny and we did not get kicked out. But that's another story. All right. So we are gonna have our virtual green slime puppets come on because they have some thoughts on cats.
We're cats. We're cats.
Not dogs.
We're cats. Yep, cats. That's right, we're cats. But T.S. Eliot, the guy who wrote the poem, says we're jellicle cats. What the heck are jellicle cats?
Jellicle cats? Maybe they meant Jubilee cats? Or could it be Geronimo?
Or maybe Jericho cats?
Oh, wait, I got it. Jellyfish cats.
What? Cats hate water. Thinking. What about Jerry Lewis cats? Hey, lady!
Yeah, right.
Okay. I guess we don't know, but we should get this song out of the way.
Song? What song? I don't remember that in my slime contract.
You know, you should read the fine print. Midnight, and the kiddies are asking why I am in this movie. It is really quite bad.
If you long for happiness again, then please don't watch this film.
Men as kitties in CGI.
I'm not sure I know the tune. Missing plot line all hurts my eye.
That was good. Yes, it's all one big cat hairball. And the cats. Wait, stop. Hold it. No, I can't do any more of this. This is the most degrading thing I've ever done.
It could have been worse, I suppose, but I still want to see my agent.
You got that right, Jubilee.
All right, so last but not least, the big award of the evening is going to, of course, go to the year 2020.
You rang?
All right, so this year...
Hey, Toots. Can I call you Toots?
No. Anyway, so this year we've had things, not only COVID-19 come and rock our world, it's just led to so many other things.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, we have our fantasy and fiction versus science and logic. After all, let me take a lovely sip of my bleach solution to combat the disease.
I try hard.
We've had a lot of social and political injustice going on everywhere.
Yep.
In addition to that, I mean, tons of unemployment, economic insecurity, food insecurity.
Well, you still got some Cheetos mac and cheese there, man.
That is true. We've also had, in the last couple of months, we've had tons of wildfires and drought.
Yep.
And of course, you know, you did let the murdered hornets drop. I quite missed those.
Yeah, those didn't turn out quite the way I had hoped.
Yeah. I was kind of looking forward to the murder hornet. As you said, there's been so much weird food. You know, I have to decide whether for dinner tonight I'm going to have flaming hot Cheetos mac and cheese or golden cheesy Cheetos mac and cheese. Quite the 2020 decision.
Yeah, those are a little gift for me. I hope you like them.
Yep. We've had unusually hot temperatures here in New Mexico. I mean, I can't remember the last time in August it hit 100 degrees. They're also predicting a heavy hurricane system as well as a strong flu season. Unless y'all get smart, like I think it's Vietnam where flu's already started, yet they're seeing almost no cases because everyone's wearing a mask. So that might be the one good thing that comes out of masks this year.
Hey, you forgot about the Twinkie flavored lattes, man. That was one of mine. That was mine. Yep.
Yeah, no, I can't even. So obviously between, you know, canceling of every event and all of the other things we've talked about, you know, 2020 been total suck. I would definitely like a do-over for this year.
Oh, well, you know what? You should wait until you see what I've got planned for Halloween through Christmas, man. That's going to knock your socks off.
No, you don't get to mess with my Halloween. No. So, yeah, as we said, 2020, here's to you, kid. All right, thank you so much for joining us for this year's Green Slime Awards on behalf of the whole cast. All right, I'm always looking for nominations for the next year's award. So if you see, read, eat anything terrible, please send us a note through the contact us form on bubonicon.com so that we can consider your nominations for next year's awards. Thank you so much. See you next year.
Bye-bye.